You may have heard of raising fish at sea, in the desert, or even in fish ponds. But have you ever thought about raising fish on a boat? With just some fry, you can drive the boat to places with superior environments, such as the Arctic and Antarctic, to raise delicious seafood. Maybe you think this sounds like science fiction, but in China, this idea has begun to become a reality. In March this year, Chinese media reported a shocking news. The world's first floating power global cage-type workboat, Zhanjiang Bay No. was successfully launched. It is understood that the aquaculture water capacity of this fishing boat is as high as 80,000 cubic meters, which is equivalent to the water volume of 32 standard swimming pools. It can be said that the size of this aquaculture ship is almost the same as that of an aircraft carrier. In addition, this fishing boat can not only float in all sea areas, but also carry out deep-sea aquaculture, making the most of marine space resources and producing 8,000 tons of precious fish every year. So why does China want to build such a behemoth to raise fish? What is so special about this aquaculture ship? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. As we all know, China is a big country with a population of 1.4 billion, so its food consumption is also very huge. As early as 1994, Lester Brown, director of the World Watch Institute, raised a very serious question. Who will feed China? At that time, China was at the peak of its population growth, with a total population of an astonishing 1.14 billion, making it the most populous country in the world. According to the latest statistics, China's annual total grain consumption has exceeded 800 million tons, accounting for 1/3 of the world's total grain consumption. Among them, China's annual chicken consumption is about 7 billion, pork consumption reaches 700 million, beef consumption is 50 million, and mutton is about 400 million. Such consumption not only shows China's huge demand in the global food market, but also highlights the fragility and pressure faced by the global food supply chain. Of course, as a country with 4.7 million square kilometers of sea area, the Chinese love seafood very much. Data shows that China is one of the world's major aquatic product producers and has ranked first in the world's total aquatic product output for 30 consecutive years, accounting for more than 2/5 of the world's total output. According to the survey, in 2023, China's aquatic product output reached a staggering 91 million tons, of which the output of marine products accounted for 56 million tons. The most important thing is that with the continuous improvement of the living standards of the Chinese people, the requirements for the quality and variety of seafood have gradually become more stringent. However, the quality of seafood is often closely related to the difficulty of fishing and the scarcity of output. Moreover, fishermen cannot build farms hundreds of kilometers offshore to obtain rare seafood, which not only takes a lot of time, but also faces high transportation costs. Faced with these challenges, Chinese scientists have been actively exploring solutions, hoping to meet people's growing demand for seafood through technological breakthroughs. It was not until 2018 that Chinese scientists finally put forward a shocking idea. Can a huge ship be built to farm fish? In this way, fishing boats can sail to the most suitable sea area for breeding a certain aquatic product as needed and only need to invest in fish fry to achieve efficient production of seafood. Once this idea was announced, it attracted widespread attention from netizens around the world, but most people were skeptical and believed that it was almost impossible to achieve. After all, the size of ships is limited, and it seems unrealistic to meet China's huge demand for seafood consumption. However, to everyone's shock, in 2025, China actually announced the successful construction of a seafood aircraft carrier with an annual output of 8,000 tons. So what is going on? In March this year, Chinese media reported that the country's first fishing boat carrying 80,000 cubic meters of aquaculture water was successfully launched. After my investigation, the ship is called Zhanjiang Bay No. which is the world's first floating dynamic positioning global cage-type workboat. The ship has a total length of 154 meters, a width of 44 meters, a depth of 24.25 meters, a maximum draft of 20 meters, and can accommodate 80,000 cubic meters of aquaculture water, which is almost equivalent to the capacity of 32 standard swimming pools. This ship can not only float and cruise in all sea areas, but also conduct deep-sea aquaculture, greatly expanding the potential for the use of ocean space. After being put into use, Zhanjiang Bay No. will carry out a series of full-system intelligent fishery aquaculture experiments, marking an important step for the aquaculture industry to move into the deep sea. Unlike common fishing boats, Zhanjiang Bay No. is not used to catch marine life. It completely subverts the traditional breeding model and becomes a mobile seafood factory. There are 12 large breeding cabins designed inside the ship, each of which can accommodate about 80,000 cubic meters of breeding water. In order to ensure that the breeding water quality is always in the best condition, the ship is equipped with an advanced water exchange system, which can replace the water 16 times a day to ensure that the fish in the cabin always live in fresh and oxygen-rich seawater. Therefore, when you walk into the breeding cabin of Zhanjiang Bay No. The intelligent high-tech equipment and refined management will definitely bring you a shocking experience. According to the staff of Zhanjiang Bay No. the main fish cultivated on the ship is a kind of fish called yellow croaker. Yellow croaker is particularly sensitive to the living environment, especially the tolerance to noise is very low and can only withstand a maximum of 150 decibels of noise. In order to create a more suitable growth environment for yellow croaker, Zhanjiang Bay No. adopts an electric propulsion system to effectively control the noise on the ship below 60 decibels, which is far below the sensitive threshold of yellow croaker. In addition to this, 2,108 high-precision sensors are installed on the ship, which can monitor the growth of fish in real time and identify the facial features of each fish, helping farmers to accurately understand their growth status and implement more scientific management. 4. Big yellow croaker. The most suitable growth temperature is usually between 12 and 16 degrees Celsius. In order to ensure this condition, Zhanjiang Bay No. specially designed a rotating flow field, which adjusts the water flow speed to between 0.2 and 0.4 meters per second, and introduces high-quality deep-sea water from 100 meters deep into the breeding cabin through an intelligent water exchange system. This not only provides the big yellow croaker with sufficient oxygen and rich nutrition, but also maintains an ideal environment for the water in the cabin. Although the density of the breeding cabin is 4 to 6 times higher than that of the offshore cage, the survival rate of the big yellow croaker is still as high as more than 95%, and the meat quality is comparable to wild fish. One of the most impressive technical highlights of Zhanjiang Bay No. is its highly automated breeding system. The entire breeding process, from stocking, feeding, fishing to processing and freezing, can all be completed through automation. In this way, only 35 staff members are needed on board to successfully complete all operations, and each person can breed more than 200 tons of fish per year, bringing the annual output of the entire ship to 7,800 tons. More importantly, the ship's automation system can intelligently select the most suitable sea area for breeding according to the marine environment and the growth needs of fish, avoid the impact of natural disasters such as red tides and typhoons, and ensure that fish grow in the best water temperature environment. Thanks to this advanced technology and management method, the breeding cycle of Zhanjiang Bay No. is shortened by 1/3 compared with traditional cage breeding methods, and 2 rounds of efficient breeding can be carried out every year. According to the plan, Zhanjiang Bay No. will also try to breed some high-end seafood varieties in the future, such as silver cod and ice fish from Antarctica, to meet the increasingly diverse needs of consumers. It is expected that by then, its annual output value will reach $41.3 million, and its net profit after deducting costs will be as high as $8.26 million. Such an industrialized production model has completely changed the traditional seasonal farming method. In other words, on this workboat, we can achieve year-round production and stably supply the corresponding farmed species to the market every month. It is worth noting that building a large fish farming ship like Zhanjiang Bay No. 1 requires a lot of money and faces many technical difficulties. So, does China spend so much time and resources to build this kind of offshore fishing boat? Really just to let people eat better quality fish? In fact, China's current marine aquaculture is mainly concentrated in offshore areas. But due to the limitation of water depth, the types of aquaculture are relatively single. Zhanjiang Bay No. 1's innovative shipborne aquaculture model provides an ideal solution to this problem. It can flexibly adjust the aquaculture varieties according to market demand and sea conditions, and the aquaculture density is 6 times that of traditional cages, which means that more types of fish can be farmed in a limited space, and the aquaculture cycle is shortened by 1/3, greatly improving production efficiency. The most important thing is that this technology can effectively avoid the impact of natural disasters, such as typhoons and red tides, ensure that the aquaculture process is not disturbed, and aquaculture activities can proceed smoothly. On the other hand, with the intensification of global environmental problems and the increasing severity of marine pollution, the reduction of marine resources has become a global problem that cannot be ignored. Although fishing technology has been continuously improved and fishing efficiency has been significantly improved, this has also accelerated the depletion of marine resources. According to statistics, the annual global fishing volume has exceeded the sustainable carrying capacity of the marine ecosystem. If new breeding technologies or improved fishing methods are not developed, the depletion of marine resources will be a matter of time. Therefore, the launch of fish farming boats like Zhanjiang Bay No. 1 is an important step in responding to this challenge, marking a key step in our sustainable use of marine resources. In fact, in addition to China, many countries with developed fisheries have long begun to actively explore more environmentally friendly and sustainable breeding and fishing technologies. Since the 1990s, countries such as Norway, Sweden, and the United States have been trying to develop deep-sea aquaculture industries. Take Norway as an example. The country's fish farms are set up in deep-sea areas far away from the coast, making full use of the natural marine environment for breeding. This not only avoids the environmental pollution problems that may be caused by offshore aquaculture, but also adopts advanced breeding equipment and management technologies to ensure the efficiency, environmental protection, and sustainability of the breeding process. At present, Norway's deep-sea aquaculture has become an important pillar of its fishery. In contrast, although China's deep-sea aquaculture industry started late, it is now catching up at an accelerated pace. In addition to the Zhanjiang Bay No. 1, China has also built 6 equally advanced and environmentally friendly 150,000-ton aquaculture ships, with an estimated annual output of an astonishing 8,000 tons. According to the plan, in the next 5 years, China will invest $10 billion to build 5,000 large deep-water cages, 5 to 10 large-scale deep-sea intelligent aquaculture platforms, and 4 national-level marine ranches to build a large blue granary on the sea and create a marine grassland that tourists yearn for. With the design and construction experience of a large deep-sea aquaculture ship, Zhanjiang Bay No. 1, the current 2.0 version construction plan has been fully launched. Chinese companies plan to invest in the construction of 50 large deep-sea aquaculture ships in the next 10 years, forming a deep-sea aquaculture fleet with a total tonnage exceeding 10 million tons. It is expected to produce 400,000 tons of marine fish each year, with an annual output value of $50 million. In the future, there will be more and larger mobile marine granaries in China's deep waters. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.